Welcome back to Chicago Independent Television. We'll now join with Citizens Act to Protect Our Water, a group abbreviated CAPOW, fighting against a looming threat to privatize Chicago's water supply and focusing efforts at a recent closed-door pro-privatization conference in the Chicago suburb of Oak Brook.
I will be talking a little bit about privatization trends in Chicago, but also sort of nationwide and at the state level as well. When we talk about privatization in Chicago, we're normally talking about the purchase, lease, or operation and maintenance contract of a drinking water or sewer facility and by private companies. Most recently, the parking meter system in Chicago was privatized, and I think, I've never seen Chicagoans so upset about anything in my life. But what we saw as a result of that is people paid very, very high rates and initially very poor service in terms of actually operating that system and maintaining those meters. To think, well, that's parking, but what if it were literally our most essential resource? What if this were our water system? What would happen then? Fall of 2009, there were actually many rumors that Mayor Daley wanted to privatize the water system. There was a big media blitz, but as you probably know, nothing's actually moved at the city level, which is the good news. There's been immense public outrage to the idea of privatizing our water system. Even people who believe in privatization often think this is one of the basic functions at the city level that should remain publicly owned and operated. There's some good news, bad news with Mayor Daley stepping down. I guess the good news would be that, probably the nation's leader in privatizing public assets will no longer be in office, and we will have a new city council and a new mayor. And our mayor-elect, Rahm Emanuel, has said, I think, on a radio interview that he has no plans to privatize the water system, but he has surrounded himself with pro-privatization types. And, saying on the radio that you have no plans to privatize the water system isn't exactly binding. So I think this should be a good call to action because it's much, much easier to prevent water privatization than it is to deprivatize or remunicipalize your system.
A short distance from here, an important conference concerning public assets, privatization, and the so-called public-private partnerships is taking place in a private, gated complex. Discussion involving these deals should be totally transparent and not held behind private corporation gates. What they are talking about at this conference is of critical importance to the public, and yet the public is largely unaware of this conference or indeed of how far plans are along in the Chicago area and statewide to push through these deals.
Obviously, the people who have the money, the people who have the power, are also the people who control what happens in our democracy. And unfortunately, this is not government by the people, for the people, of the people. It is government by the corporations in collusion with the government.
I stand here today in front of McDonald's corporate headquarters where a conference is happening. I want to show you the program. It says, "It's not privatization. Implementing partnerships in Illinois." Well, I'm here to tell you that it is privatization, and the citizens of Chicago and Illinois need to be on their guard because in that conference right now are labor leaders, municipal leaders, and corporate bigwigs. We have Veolia Water, we have Lochner MMM Group, we have White Construction, we have Weston, and we have many others. And why are they here? They're here because they smell easy profits. Huge profits from running these public assets. And what are we talking about? On the presentations this morning, they said water is just the beginning. We're talking about the electric system. We're talking about schools. We're talking about hospitals. There's really no end in sight to what these guys have their sights set on. So I can tell you that despite what you're going to be hearing about the benefits of public-private partnerships, like there's going to be jobs, like there's going to be some kind of beneficial services, do not believe it. They are here to make money. and they're going to be making it on the backs of the taxpayers because that's the only way it can be done. Water is for the people. The roads are for the people. The schools are built for the people and not for private profit. So let's go forward from this meeting today to warn our fellow citizens that public-private partnerships is the new mantra, but when you see that word, just think of the Chicago parking meter deals, and you'll know what's really coming.
I'm David Kennedy, and if you want to at least defend the status quo, and if not, actually improve our water system, because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be improved, then start to get involved. So I hope that you'll heed the call to get involved and join us or join a related organization. Thank you.
Does Comcast hate God? Let's find out.
Well, Comcast blocked internet traffic, which allowed internet users to upload and download online copies of the Bible. So yes.
There you have it. Clear evidence that Comcast hates God. Help protect God. Visit these websites to learn more and get involved. Comcast, it's blocktastic.
You've been watching Chicago Independent Television, a project of the Chicago Independent Media Center Video Collective. The Independent Media Center is a growing worldwide network of media producers, journalists, citizens, and activists, working to put the media in the hands of everyday people and away from corporate and commercial interests. To learn more, visit our website at chicago.indiemedia.org. There you can find out about upcoming Chicago area events and how to get involved in making your own media, including how to help make this very TV show. Thanks for watching. See you next time.